You're listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Being a thought leader is easy. Getting results is hard. This show is for the results leader who lives and dies by their results. Here is your host and Chief Results Leader, Jonathan Rivera.
You are listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Welcome back. So glad you're here. And today's guest is going to be fun. Met him on a stage. We actually shared a stage together talking about building a personal brand. And in case you guys don't know this, one of the best investments you can make is in your personal brand. That's going to be what brings you deals. That's going to be what gives you credibility. That's going to be what makes you stand out head and shoulders above your competition. And so today's guest has over 1 million followers on Instagram. His name is JJ. Let's jump into the interview. JJ, welcome to the show. Good to see you again, brother. Are you ready to rock this thing?
Come on, man. We got energy. We got enthusiasm. We got excitement on a Monday, man. Monday in Miami. Let's roll.
Let's make it happen. So we are going to start with something simple so we can give our listeners a quick win, something they can do right now. What book have you given most as a gift?
You know, I really like the 10X rule. I like the Grant Cardone 10X rule. Makes you think bigger. Makes you go, hey, I should be doing more. I can be doing more. And it allows you to go, why not? So that's probably my big takeaway for most people when they ask me for a book.
Excellent. Now, I want you to think back and tell me a story of how an apparent failure set you up for later success.
You know, should I get up the scroll of failures? You know, I think probably the biggest one for me was trying to do it all myself. You know, thinking that my ego was like, I know all the answers and I don't need help. And my dad being the ethnic father, pretending that you don't need to show emotions and never asking for help. So really understanding, like, to get a coach, to get a tour guide, to get someone who's been there, done it before, that you like, which is important as well, that you connect with, and just go, hey man, look, here's my money and my time, help me. I think that was the biggest thing.
So how did you figure that out? Because you I mean, obviously, proud dad, you grew up with that. How did you figure out that you needed help and where to get that help?
Well, you know, I always said this, and like I said on stage when we first met, like, I'm in the jungle for a long time, you know, and I wanted to get to the next goal. I'm in the jungle all alone and I can see this island. And that's like for most people's success or their dreams, right? And I was getting further and further along to close to that island, but I was struggling so long. And I was trying to figure it out myself. And I was like, this can't be right. Like, why am I struggling so much? And until I actually gave in and said, I don't know, and I actually allowed someone to show me where to go and what to do and how to do it, I started to feel happiness and joy because I didn't have to try to figure it out myself. So every time I would fail, every time I was hitting a wall, I kept going, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything I get told. I'm showing up early, I'm waking up, I'm working out. I feel like I've got a great attitude. I communicate. I think I'm a pretty good salesman. But something else isn't working. And it was because I wasn't giving the right direction. And I was using someone else's map, someone else's plan, rather than I should have gone to the guy that's done it and showed me how to get there.
What would you say is the most worthwhile investment you've ever made?
Coming back to coaching, masterminds. Yeah. And, I'm new to that too. Once again, I was an entertainer for a long time in my life. I was a magician. So when you're a magician, there's no the community is very small. You don't go to a school. If you want to go to business school, there's business school. There's no Hogwarts school, it's a very, very exclusive, secret kind of place. And magicians are very they keep the secrets to themselves. So you don't really get told to go get a mentor or a coach. You got to figure it out yourself. So I know that in 2020, I spent a lot of money on myself. Every dollar I could, back into me. And it's funny, I said this to clients of mine, the more money I spend on myself, the more money I make. The more money I spend on myself, the more impact I can have.
What would you say to people that say spending money on yourself is selfish?
I would say, like, where's that mindset coming from? I would say, like, who's telling you that? And then I would say always, like, what is selfish? Like, and usually people, when you question them in a cool way, not a, like, I'm attacking you, like, hey, thank you for your feedback. I'm really curious to know what you mean by that. And when someone actually explains what they mean, they actually catch themselves out in a little bit of a, I'm right, or sorry, you're right. I actually didn't think of it that way. For example, I tell people, when people come to me, they work with me, and they're like, I'm an introvert. Remember when I said this on stage, I'm an introvert. And like, this is my favorite thing when people tell me this. I pause and I let them spit out any other fear. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me ask you a question. Who said you're an introvert? And I go, I did. I said, yeah. What else are you telling yourself? So like, when people say that to me, I would say, well, listen, maybe it is selfish, but the first person you need to help is yourself. Because how are you supposed to serve others if you don't even serve yourself? And they go, you're right.
In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
The last 5 years, the most biggest belief or habit, my mindset. When my mindset's out of whack, everything else is out of whack. Like, and figuring out and finding out what everyone knows, my friend, of when they feel like a superpower, when they feel like, yo, I feel good today. And when you're in that zone, in that state, it's very annoying when you're not in that state because you feel how weak you are. So when I'm in power mode, man, you just like your mindset is powerful, and you feel like you're Superman. You feel like you're limitless, boom, boom, boom.
You said out of whack. What do you mean by out of whack, and how do you get back in whack?
Yeah, great question. Out of whack is when you know deep down when you're off. And it's people know, like, if you, like, for example, I was in Vegas last week, right? And, I'm not a huge drinker, but, we were having a couple of cheekies, we're having some couple of beers, couple of little shots. And, when you're out of whack, when I'm sleeping is off, when I'm not eating as well, when I'm out, when I'm, putting things in my body that doesn't operate at that high level, I'm out of whack. I'm out of like alignment a little bit. And I'm not saying you should cut all that stuff out, because I feel like a lot of people, it's like black or white. No, I think there needs to be a bit of enjoyment. I think there needs to be like, you don't want to turn that off, because you may meet someone at the bar sometimes, But I feel like everyone knows how to get themselves back into that. I call it that athlete mode. And when you're in that athlete mode, elite level, like a soldier, boom, you're going to win.
So how do you get yourself back? Because you explained what out of whack is, but when you do fall out of that system, how do you get back into it?
Right. So going back to knowing what you've done to get back into it before. So for me, like, I am always a big believer of sweat out your sins, man. Sweat it out. Get to the steam room. Get to that gym. No one's ever said, I feel terrible after I worked out. Have you ever said that? No. Like, I'm so happy I did that. So like, working out, getting the steam room, getting your food back into check, like getting your rest. I think a lot of people, man, in the entrepreneur space, there's this kind of like, I sleep 3 hours a night business. Firstly, that's a Hollywood answer. That's just what you want to sell it, so that, oh, wow, he's so good, he only sleeps 3 hours. No one sleeps 3 hours and wins. Give me 50 people, and then maybe give me 5. Richard Branson doesn't sleep 3 hours and wins, Everyone knows how important rest is. If Usain Bolt, the fastest sprinter in the world, talks about rest, if LeBron talks about rest, if Kobe talks about rest, why would it be different? So, I think it's really important to how you get back into it is on you. But I know for me, like, getting rid of all the toxins and the juice and the bad stuff, and then putting the good stuff back inside.
What are some bad recommendations you hear in your area of expertise?
That I'm so amazing and the world should just know about me. I'm the best coach. I'm the best podcaster. I can sell anything. I am the best singer. I know more than most. Great. That ego will block you from greatness. That ego will stop you from doing things that the world needs you to play. What I mean by is this: People don't want to play the game. This is a game, right? Listen, I know what it feels like to be an artist. I know what it feels like to be creative, and it's inside of me. But have you ever heard the broke artist mentality? Have you ever been walking down the road and you see a guy playing guitar or sing at a bar? Like, how is this person not more famous? Amazing talent, probably amazing guy or girl, pretty, like they're marketable, but they're not marketing. They're not showing up. They're not playing the game of you need to spend money on your brand. You need to spend money on you. You need to advertise. And I think, in the space that we play, we just think one post on social media or one podcast or one good landing page will cut it. And a lot of people's ego, the reason they don't do these things is because their ego. I should just be seen. They should just know how great I am. I'm like, how's that working for you? So I feel like the biggest thing is like allowing yourself to go, I don't know and I need help. Once again, coming back to the beginning, and then paying someone who knows more on how to promote yourself.
Now let's get to what this show is really about. That was just the warm up. Let's talk about results. Jay, why do results matter?
Because that's the only thing that shows people that you know what you're talking about. I'm a big talker. Dude, I'm the biggest chatterbox, and I'll talk your ear off. However, I also know that I've got things behind it to back it up. So when people think I'm all talk and they see the results and the facts, they're like, oh, because I feel like so many people now, man, like they're so guarded. Have you noticed that? Like they're so guarded. It used to be like you could just do one thing and people believe you. People are so far back from you. You got to like build the trust to get them forward for them to like actually like listen to you now, because they're so hurt. They've been throwing messages left, right, and center. Do this, try this. I'm the best. This. So, and they've been burnt. So they're raw. They're like the princess in a castle, right? You've got to get through all the ogres and the other guys and the final prince before you get to the princess. It's just a lot harder now. So I think the only way to prove that is show results. You can't fake that. It's harder, I think.
In the last 5 years, what new realization has helped you get better results for your clients?
Pressing on more of the testimonials, getting third-party validation as much as I can. I'm big on getting other people to talk very highly of me, because people know that it's very challenging to fake that. Yes, you can hire actors, but at the end of the day, like they're gonna do their stalk and their Google. So like it reconfirms that the more people who have a good experience with me, big or small, hey man, would you mind shooting me a quick video? Just tell me this. Because that another touch point, another touch point, another touch point, another touch point, another touch point. People are like, dude, this guy, like, okay, he must be good. Maybe I should have a conversation with this guy.
So it seems like, and maybe this is my own personal bias, it seems like even when we were at that event, it was hard to get people to get their cameras out and record when everybody was recording. So what are some tips that you can give us to get those video testimonials or any kind of testimonial?
Yes. So there are two ways. The first way is call up all of your clients that have had an amazing experience. There's clients like they'll do anything for you. They're the first ones because they'll do it. So call them and say, listen, hey, I want to get your feelings of working with me for the last year, 3 months, 10 years. I want you to shoot a video for me. But don't just give them the chance to shoot any video back. Give them a couple of points of the things that you want to cover. Because remember, their testimonial is selling to your new client. So you want to hit all of those kind of key points, like what was it like working with you, the result they got, the money they made, how you were a professional that you got back to people, right? So that's the first part, ask your key clients. Now, if there are people that you can't get a hold of, they just don't want to do a video, I'm big on tricking the system in the way of, I send people a text, hey, what was it like working with me? Then they'll send a text back, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I screenshot that, right? Obviously, I don't put their name in the when I upload it to Instagram or social media. And it actually really works because there's something very secretive about seeing someone's text messages. So it's revealing. So I do that a lot, Or if someone says to me a comment and I'm like, that's a good screenshot.
Slick.
Yeah,
So then
good.
you need to ask for permission for that. If you don't use their name, you can just put it out there, right?
Yeah, man. In my 16, 17 years when I was speaking to now running the agency, I've had a couple people say, I don't know, I don't really want that online. And that's not on them. That's on because they've either left the company or they don't want something else to happen from them talking about that. But it's never been on me. So yeah, man, just put it up. Yeah.
That's slick. That text message one, I am taking that right away.
Yeah, take it. And you know what? I'll give people a move today. Here we go. You want some results? Like DM or text 10 people. You can even tell them, hey man, I want to get a quick feedback from you. Hey, tell me how much money you made, and then you can edit the part you want, right? You can like white it out. Hey, how much money did you make from that podcast? How much success did you get from doing that video? Oh, Jay, I boom, 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 boom. Screenshot, wipe the name out, post it online. That post could be the last part of the straw, last part before someone was going to pay you the invoice. People just need to have that last final done. That's it. And that you post it online, people go, hey, I think we should have a conversation. That was it. They were just waiting for that last nudge. And they see that was the move.
Money.
Are you enjoying the interview? Yeah, I had to jump in here for a second and ask you, if you've been listening for a while and you haven't subscribed to this show, why not? Go to wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Results Leader FM, and hit the subscribe button. That way you never miss another episode. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump back into the interview.
What area of your business would you like better results?
So many. Probably scaling. I really feel I'm really personable and I'm very good at knowing how I run, but it's not scalable. And I'll constantly, if I don't figure this out soon or figure this out correctly, I'll always be working in the business. I don't want that. I want to work on the business. I want to grow. And if I'm currently managing things that shouldn't be managed, that's a problem.
What steps are you currently taking to elevate yourself out of that? Or it's like delegate and delete, right? Delegate, delete, and elevate. So what are some steps you're taking to do that now?
Well, the simple ones of noting down the things that I shouldn't be doing, period. Right. And I've got that. I've got 2 staff, so, you got the VA that does all the data stuff, which is a huge time saver, and then I've got my assistant who does copywriting and I've trained to do website stuff too. So I can say, here's a video testimonial. Here's the client. Here's what they said. Upload to the website, make a page, and she knows how to do it. Like that, it's called dumping for me. Just dump it is amazing for me. And then I think it's like once that's completed and I'm doing like income producing activities or brand growing activities, then it's like, okay, how can I now get someone to do the sales or the element of like that I can be more, that moves I do are now more so like long-term wins rather than wins today. So it's just, finding the right person who knows what step I'm at and showing me what to do. Because I feel like sometimes, man, and this is the thing with coaches too, not every coach is meant for you and not every coach is meant for you right now. Like, I don't have 50 staff. So getting a coach to help me scale to 500 staff, their tips and advice could be valuable, but they're really best to help someone who's got 50 to go to 500. I need to go from 1 to 10, or 3 to 10,
What results are you most proud of, Jay?
That I've been able to stand on some of the biggest stages in the world and work for the biggest companies, and you can see it, and speaking, like so many people, I don't know why the man upstairs gave me this gift. The ability to stand on a stage and public speak is like, the number one fear in the world. So in the way I position it, I can do something that most of the world fears. It's pretty good. And to be able to show that, and I take it for granted sometimes because, I do it a lot. So, the result for me is that I've done the runs on the board, and it's online. So I can't fake it. You can't fake you looking 16. There was no photo filters back then. So it's like, it's nice to be able to show that. So you never have to lie.
Any parting thoughts you want to share with the results leaders who are tuning into us right now?
Yeah, let me give you something tangible. Go get more testimonials. Use that screenshot idea. Use the text message idea, because that can never be beaten. And one thing I'll tell you as well, you may go to me, Jay, well, I'm starting my business. I don't have 50 testimonials. Yeah, here's the deal. Have you ever helped anyone ever in life? Great. That feeling of helping someone can be leveraged as a testimonial, because the way you help people is sellable enough of how you would help them in their business. Because remember, you're selling you. You're a personal brand. You're selling you. You're not selling the service, right? Hey, Jay helped me grow my brand. He was professional and he really got back to me. Reliability and professionalism is a very powerful thing in business. That will trump sometimes the service. He's not the best, but he gets back to me. Or I never work with that guy. Yeah, he's the best, but he never returns my phone call. He never pays a bill on time, right? Dude, I don't want to work with that. I want to work with a reliable guy. So it's like, I think to give people a result-winning move today, get results. But you can't lose doing that.
Mic drop right there. I love it. So I know the listeners are going to want more. Where can they get more Jay?
Yeah, they can get more Jay at JJ Live on Instagram, JayJayLive, or check me out at aceofspadesagency.com. Advertising, verification on Instagram, branding. Like, at the end of the day, you need to advertise. In 2022, it's all about personal brand. It's all about people knowing you. And if they don't know you, they're using someone else.
Ain't that the truth? So we have been wrapping with JJ. We will have all the links in the show notes. Thank you, sir, for spending some time with us and dropping that testimonial tip. That's going to be highly valuable. Thank you, results leaders, for tuning in. And another one's in the can.
That is a wrap for another edition of ResultsLeader.fm. If you are out there getting results for your clients and you want to be featured on the show, go to ResultsLeader.fm now and apply to be on the show. And if you love what you're hearing, share the show, give us a rating and review, do anything to help us get the message out there. Thought leadership is easy, but results leadership is hard. We'll catch you on the next one.
This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.